That feeling of panic, an item that you should have with you disappears, or you suddenly realize that you have lost someone you love. Dreams of loss usually reflect an inner emptiness, insecurity, or fear of change. Even when these dreams wake us up, that feeling of emptiness can linger on us. So what does the dream of loss whisper to us? How do different cultures and ancient teachings interpret the meanings behind this deep feeling? Let's uncover the secret of this common dream. In Islamic dream interpretations, losing something or someone is usually associated with a loss, separation, sadness, anxiety, or loss of property in real life. The importance of the lost item or person affects the interpretation of the dream. Losing a valuable item can indicate a material or spiritual loss. Losing a child can usually mean anxiety, the burden of a responsibility, or the disruption of a project. This dream is a warning that the person should get rid of worldly dependencies, trust in God, and seek refuge in Allah. Sometimes it may reflect the person's regret for a past mistake or concerns about the future. In Sufism, losing usually symbolizes the process of getting rid of worldly ties and egoistic desires, realizing the transience of mortality, or giving up worldly dependencies in order to reach divine love. A dream of material loss indicates that the person should question his attachment to the world and turn to the hereafter. The feeling of losing a loved one can also be interpreted as the weakening of the worldly attachment to that person, or the rise to prominence of divine love in the heart. In Sufism, every loss is a gain. A person reaches the spiritual by giving up the worldly. This dream is a message that the believer must discipline his soul, purify himself from worldly desires, and surrender completely to Allah. In Indian philosophy, the dream of losing is usually associated with the realization of transience, anitya, purification from worldly attachments, the completion of karmic cycles, or the end of an era and a new beginning. The symbolic meaning of the lost thing or person is important. For example, the loss of an object may represent material dependencies, while the loss of a person may represent emotional ties. This dream may indicate that the person is undergoing a major transformation in their life, giving up their old habits or identity and facing an inner void. It may also indicate that the person's fears or anxieties from the past are affecting their present and that they must confront them. In ancient Egypt, loss was often associated with misfortune, divine wrath, disruption of order, or a harbinger of disaster. For the pharaohs, such dreams could be a warning that their power would be shaken, that they would lose property, or that they would be punished by the gods. For the common people, it could be interpreted as a harbinger of illness, poverty, or a personal disaster. The loss of a child in particular could be perceived as a great tragedy and a sign of the disruption of Ma'at, or justice and order. This dream encouraged the person to make offerings to the gods, perform rituals to protect themselves from evil forces, and to adapt to the flow of life. In Western dream interpretations, losing something or someone is a common anxiety dream, and usually reflects insecurity, loss of control, separation anxiety, fear of change, a sense of emptiness, or the process of coping with a loss in real life. From a Freudian perspective, dreams of losing can sometimes symbolize repressed desires or insecurities in a relationship. According to the Jungian approach, losing can represent confronting one's shadow aspects, feeling a part of oneself lost, or obstacles in the process of individuation. In modern psychology, this dream usually indicates that the person does not feel adequate about something, is worried about the end of an important relationship or situation. It can also indicate that the person is in the process of mourning, accepting, and moving forward. In Asian cultures, dreams of losing are often interpreted as an awareness of impermanence, purification from worldly attachments, the completion of karmic cycles, or the end of an era. In China, the loss of property symbolizes financial difficulties or the loss of an opportunity, while the loss of a loved one can indicate a change in the relationship with that person. In Japan, it may reflect loss of honor, concerns about social status, or a sense of inner emptiness. In Buddhist philosophy, loss can be seen as a release from worldly attachments, shedding the illusions of the ego, and a step on the path to enlightenment. This dream often highlights one's inner stress, the need to accept the transient nature of life, and reach a deeper spiritual understanding. Dear dream travelers, we have come to the end of our journey in this mysterious and deep world of dreams. As you can see, our dreams are not just a product of sleep, but also ancient messages whispered to us by our subconscious, our soul, and universal wisdom. Each dream can be a mirror we hold up to our inner world, a guide to face the challenges we face, or an invitation to discover our potential. Remember that these interpretations are wisdoms filtered from the accumulation of different cultures and beliefs, observed and interpreted for centuries. However, only God knows the most accurate and definitive interpretation. May your dreams guide you and help you find inner peace. See you on the next mysterious journey. Goodbye.